Hi everyone, welcome to Mala's Verse. Thank you so much for joining me in today's reading. We are going to do a reading on the topic How can you cultivate more courage to live authentically? We'll discover what guidance is coming through to step into more vulnerability and embracing authenticity in different or all areas of your life. So, before we get into the reading, take a few deep breaths and breathe out through your mouth. I am going to ring the singing bowl. All right. File number one, your card is Seven of Arrows or Seven of Swords. For pile two, we have Nine of Discs or Nine of Pentacles. Take a few deep breaths and breathe out through your mouth if required again, centering yourself and letting your awareness guide you to whichever pile you are drawn to. You're more than welcome to choose one or more piles, and I'll see you in your reading. So, pile one, if you chose Seven of Arrows, this is going to be your reading. So, Seven of Arrows is sort of letting me know that you may be very strategic with your energy. And it may have happened because, I mean, the strategy as of now could be, keeping your cards close to your chest, not revealing much, not revealing your ideas or thoughts or anything to anybody as of now. And while it is definitely helpful and definitely great that you are being mindful about this, but there's still that energy of um, closing up your heart center more than it is required. So it's limiting you a bit because you are doing this to safeguard yourself, to be safe, yet it's not about sharing everything with everyone. That's not what is coming through, but there is basically what's happening is a lack of trust, because what I am perceiving here is maybe in moments of vulnerability or when you were being your authentic self, your true self, your thoughts either got stolen, I am getting theft of intellectual property in some way, shape, or form, which may have made you quite, you know, quite like sitting on the edge and being alert all the time. And I'm also getting like there is a sense of boredom that might be coming through because there is not a lot of creative outlet or a creative expression that's happening. Let's explore a little bit more about the Seven of Swords when it comes to how can it cultivate more courage to live more authentically. So, what is it about courage that this message, this card has to tell us? Let's see, we have Four of Cups. I was talking about boredom, and Six of Cups, and both are it's giving me shadow energy because we have a lot of dark colors here, and we have King of Hills, which is a King of Pentacles. Again, very earthy tone, yet a little darker. Still, it's not as dark as these cards, but there's this. I perceive that maybe some of you are looking back into the past and remembering certain things, how things were better, and there's an energy of slipping back into certain patterns that you have worked on diligently, and so these patterns helped you in the past the way that they were supposed to, and it may even have created unwanted situations which was necessary for you to get that pearl of wisdom from it, because this Four of Cups, these um whatever this is, it is actually, I think it's an oyster, but it's reminding me of an oyster, and the pearl being grinded time and again so that the pearl comes out as the pearl, right? And even this, if you look at it quite from a distance, this could look like something that's shining in the dark, right? This small thing here, I think it's representing sunlight or sunrise. Light at the wow, light at the end of the tunnel. Um, but yeah, there's a complacency that has come up because you are least bothered with being active with what you want, like being, again, this is about not courageously expressing yourself because that's the most comfortable path. But in the long run it may not be so, because right away, like I was mentioning, there's a sense of boredom. There's a sense you are not interacting with the world in the way that you are supposed to. That's what is coming through, honestly, because you are defying. It's not about defying norms. It's like you're defying yourself to live the life that you wish to live. And more than live the life, it's more so the experiences that you're meant to experience. You're defying yourself from receiving that because of your inhibitions and your need to protect yourself. Protection is definitely very important, but at this point in time, these are not boundaries. These are borders that are restricting you and not letting you expand. So let's see, how can you be more courageous without, or rather, let's see, how can you be more vulnerable without feeling weak or compromised? How can you be more vulnerable without feeling compromised? So, one, okay, bottom of the deck we have Chariot. Definitely be courageous. You have to, it's this is bringing your will, your intention, everything together and moving forward. Courageous, the 7 is a very important number for this pile. We have the Queen of Sticks, which is the Queen of Wands, Hanged Man, and King of Cups. It's interesting that this is most likely a porous rock or a stone. Do correct me if I'm wrong, but it immediately reminded me of a skull. So bones, the skull are very, very, very basis. I want a clarifier for 10 of wands. Okay. 3 of wands at the bottom of the deck. Hmm. So, first of all, with the Three of Wands, there's definitely an energy of waiting this out yet. It's not about waiting out in the sense that things have to come to you, but you have to put in actions of which you would receive results, and the results will take their sweet time. So you have to be patient is what I'm receiving. So this could very well be if you're wanting to establish boundaries with somebody and still share what you want to share. Start with, it's an you know it's in bits or smaller pieces or breadcrumb the information and see how it's being received. Take your time with understanding how it is being received, and give yourself a timeline. And I'm getting like timelines of 3 weeks, 4 weeks, not immediately, right? So give yourself at least that much of a time period to understand how the energy is moving. Simultaneously, regardless of how your surroundings are, you have to stand in your power, in your creativity. Like I said, this energy, there is a stagnancy in your energy currently, which is not being utilized in the proper way, and it's creating boredom, maybe even apathy with the 4 of cups. But even though this may seem like a struggle and an exhausting task, to be honest, because we do have 10 of wands and then we have the hanged man. But it's like you have to not jumble, you have to juggle between the Queen of Wands and the Hanged Man. So Hanged Man is about surrender, about letting go, and the Queen of Wands is very action oriented. It's about taking charge of your life. So you have to make this work hand in hand. So with the Queen of Wands being in charge of your life, may mean that you do more activities or more creative activities where it's not dependent on people or surroundings around you, and involving that energy in your life more and more. And at the same time, with the Hangman, letting go of what would it create for you. You don't have to fixate on if it will give you the right results or not. Do these things for the joy of it. And this entire intention that you are doing, this entire work that you are doing, which will be a strong push and pull, and it may even exhaust you, I do perceive that therein is where you need to have protection from other people's beliefs in a way. So you have to be very strong with your beliefs being stronger, more positive, and helping you move forward in life courageously. And it's going to be exhausting, that is very clear here, yet it's going to yield you results that you have been seeking. We do have the King of Cups here, and I do perceive that when you start having this balance of, the Hanged Man, where you let go, you surrender to the grandness of the universe, of the higher consciousness of source, as to how things will play out, yet you do your part of taking actions and moving courageously forward around your beliefs, your ideas, your goals, the dreams that you have. That's all that you require to do action wise. And that combination of taking that action and at times not taking the action is going to create a lot of balance within you emotionally. And that's how you are going to know whom to share your light with, and become more courageous in both ways, wherein you don't feel pressured when you're not sharing things with others. Like, it can create energies or feelings of being left out, but that will not happen, because you will understand and gauge whom to share your energy with, or how to rather share it. And because you let go of the outcome, because I mean, the more you are practicing that and you're protecting that practice, because protecting this practice is very important, that's coming through. And so the more you are able to surrender to the intelligence of source, of the creator, whoever you believe in, or of the universe, the easier it will be for you to share your truth without the fear of being judged, or without the fear of it being used against you in some way, shape, or form. Because I do feel like with the Seven of Swords specifically here, this is about communication, or ideas either being stolen, or in a way, your own words being used as manipulation against you. But the more you are able to use it creatively and understand your own creative force, the more difficult it will become for anyone else to manipulate you, because you know your shadows, you know where you are um, needing to work upon, or things that you have to embrace about yourself, so that you either come into a space where you are an allowance of it, you are at ease with it. And the other part would be, yes, coming at ease with it, and maybe even using it as your strength wherever it's required. So in that sense, you will be able to share your truth, be emotionally in balance, not imbalance, I'm saying in balance, balance, and share your truth, or be more vulnerable. You will be able to gauge who is willing to receive your truth. And simultaneously, you will also have the resilience to share your truth and bear the consequences in any way, shape, or form. You will not, I'm getting the energy of, you may feel a little bit of cowardice come in terms of how you will be treated if you share your truth. But there is this owning your truth energy that will start occurring, and you will be at peace with whatever happens, and not want to dictate. And the need to dictate what the result is will ease out for you a lot. So, how can you embrace more authenticity? First, let's see these cards. We have Wheel of Fortune at the bottom of the deck. Wow, Seven of Swords again, and Two of Pentacles. Yeah, I do perceive that the Two of Pentacles specifically here is definitely pointing towards this swinging between Queen of Wands and Hangman energy again, which is one of taking action, standing in your power, the other is surrendering to the grandness and the intelligence of the universe. I would like a clarifier for the Seven of Swords. We have the Sun. Oh wow. What I'm receiving here is giving yourself the opportunity, rather the permission to experience your soul's joy. And you do not have to, dive headfirst into it and completely go all the way in the beginning. Do it one step at a time. Do it strategically, but begin doing it because you have not been giving yourself the permission to experience the joy of your heart center, is what I'm receiving. So you do that and you simultaneously move between the energy of taking action and pausing, surrendering, taking note of what's happening. How are you feeling specifically emotionally? How is what the actions, or how are the actions that you are taking towards your joy, towards your soul's energy with the Sun card here, actually nurturing and nourishing you? You have to take note of that, pile number one, and that's going to help you live more authentically. Because the more you are, sort of like checking in with your soul regularly, the easier it will become for you to live in your authenticity and be authentic in relationships, in how you communicate to others, in how you share your ideas or how you express your ideas, be it in your workplace or in general with people. So, pile number two, that's all that I have for you. Thank you so much for joining. I hope that this was helpful in some way, shape, or form. Do share your thoughts in the comment section below. Like, share, subscribe to the channel if the reading resonated with you. And I would like to take this opportunity to invite you to my Substack, wherein I do share insights on self love, self empowerment, more so, and living in one's truth, or understanding how we can be more an allowance of who we are, and also occasional tarot insights. So, if this is something that interests you, you are more than welcome to join my Substack, the link to which will be in the description box below. Thank you again so much for joining, and I hope to see you in future readings. Bye bye. Hi, pile 2. If you chose the Nine of Pentacles, this is going to be your reading. My attention is actually going a lot towards these darker purples and blues here, so reminding me of the third eye and our crown. So, our pineal gland energy. And the Nine of Pentacles energy here. So I was reading about this card in the guidebook. This is the Sacred India Tarot, and this talks about Siddhartha and the this is the oldest monk here who's learning from Mahakashyapa, right? So usually Siddhartha, whenever he was giving, discussion, or basically doing discussions or giving education or wisdom, there was a long, he would talk at length and without any issues at all. But during this gathering, he was really silent, and he only, picked up a flower. None of the other people understood, but the oldest monk here was able to recognize what was the message. And this was more so about receiving wisdom during the silence that was being, emphasized upon during this session, if you want to call it, with Siddhartha, because the focus was more on receiving the message in the energy, rather than words being a medium for you to share what needs to be shared. So I do perceive that there is, interestingly enough, although we are talking about how can you cultivate more courage to live authentically, I'm receiving that to live authentically, to listen to what's coming through, what is authentic to you. You have to calm your mind a lot, pile number two. That's what I'm receiving. So this is more so about more than courage. Of course, I think we will get to it, but this is more so about actually listening to what's coming to you with a lot of clarity, because even with the colors, the attention, that's my sorry, the attention, sorry, the colors, where my attention is going to is these darker colors, right? So like I mentioned, the third eye and crown chakra. So receiving your intuition, your innate awareness, your innate wisdom more clearly can only happen when you listen to the silence, or listen to what's happening in the silence, more than receiving information time and again. Because maybe with this file, what's happening is there's an information overload rather than understanding what's going on within. So let's see what else about living authentically, or understanding what's authentic to you, pile number two, that we need to know about with these cards. Okay, so we have, what is this? Daughter of Cups, which is the Page of Cups at the bottom of the deck. And then we have Hierophant, like, you know, completely different decks, but we are talking about a teacher, wisdom here. And we have the King of Hills, which is the King of Pentacles. It did show up for pile number one as well, but in a different position. This is about authority and authenticity, because authority is being doubled down on with the Hierophant and also the King of Pentacles, and strong earth energies. So Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus, very strong energies of these zodiac signs here. Specifically Taurus is what I'm receiving. Hmm. What I am receiving here is there is this need to sit with the wisdom that you have within yourself, rather than vocalizing it or sharing it. That's coming through quite strongly. Receiving with more clarity the wisdom that is inherent in you. And this is not just inherent wisdom, this is also wisdom that you have gathered through life experiences. Because your true authority, your true power, authority even in the sense of Hierophant, and your true influence is going to come through that information. The more you're able to embody that information, the more you're able to receive that information, the easier it will be for you to live courageously and authentically. I'd like to have one clarify about the King of Pentacles here. There's a lot about a strong, solid foundation. Very four of points, which is four of swords. Again, four, a square. It is such a rigid and strong um, shape. I wonder actually for this pile, if you are being asked to go within rather than interacting with people, which was the message for the first pile. I mean, sort of the message for pile number one. Not exactly that, but still, opening up a lot more for you. It's more so there is wisdom that you have to transfer, that you have to share, that you have to, I am also getting the word, transmissions, or transmit to other people in any way, shape, or form that suits the best for you and your skill sets. But for that to happen, you have to first go within and recognize the wisdom that you have within yourself. We have a bird here, and there's a small bird here as well with the four of swords. So pile number two, this is more about, for you to live authentically, you have to actually definitely become Buddha like, but I'm receiving more than isolating yourself from the world. It's more so stop receiving a lot of information from the outside world at this point in time, because it's, yeah, with a two of swords, it's creating unnecessary confusion within you. You might be swinging from one place to another or one decision to another unnecessarily because you're receiving a lot of information, or you're wanting to search. There's like an anxious energy or an anxiety around searching for the right answer, but the right answer is right within you. So looking for opinions, looking for guidance right now is actually not your guidance, because you are your own guru, your own mentor, especially at this point in time. And that is what is going to help you live courageously and authentically. Let's see what else do we need to know. Your message is quite sharp and clear, honestly. So I'm not going to take more cards here, but let's see what extra cards do we need here to maybe even what do you need to know about courage, and especially courage around exploring your inner world. What courage or an encouraging message that is it that you require. I'm not going to take this, but I think this is again King of Pentacles, doubling down on that energy quite strongly. Why is the King of Pentacles here? Seven of Cups. Yeah. Castles in the air, your head is in the clouds, you need to ground yourself. Pile number two. This is because, more so because you are, there's a lot of cooking up of stories happening. Please don't shoot the messenger, but that's what I'm receiving here. A lot of imagination, but these things now have to be grounded. And for that to happen, you cannot keep listening to what others are doing. Definitely take inspiration. I'm not saying don't do that, but this is more so you recognizing your own worth and your own strength. And especially with the Nine of Pentacles, you have gathered a lot of wisdom. Of course, for many of you, this could be financial freedom or financial independence that you are moving towards. And for some of you, may have even actualized it in some way, shape, or form. But this is more so, yeah. And I actually want to say, for people where finances are not that big an issue, yes, you may be living a little bit, you know, within the means and not, purchasing luxury stuff. Yet the energy is, if you are having access to food, healthy food, there's a roof over your head, there are clothes on over your back in any way at this point in time, the focus then more is on grounding your ideas and moving forward, because you are innately a teacher. Many of you, you have the authority and the wisdom of a teacher, but you are only going to be able to share that with the world the more you ground this energy, the more you are mindful and are in this moment. Because right now I perceive that your energy is dispersed in different areas, and maybe in different connections, maybe in different people's situations, but it needs to be gathered now. It has to come to here and now and around you. You have to call your energy back. Pile number two. That's going to help you live more authentically. So what do we need to know about courage for pile number two? Not taking this one. We have the King of Swords at the bottom of the deck. Wow, Lovers, Temperance, Knight of Wands. So yeah, this is about choices. Yes, with lovers, it is about relationships also, is what I'm getting. Not necessarily romantic relationships, but generally relationships and the choices that you make that help not just others but also help you grow as well. Because again, there's this focus on the mind here. I mean, that's where my attention is going with the way her hair here is. There's flowers growing out of it, there are leaves coming out of it, so there's a lot of wisdom, there's a lot of innate wisdom that you have to access. And again, with the Temperance card, that's Sagittarius energy, philosophy, spirituality, higher wisdom, higher education. And we have Knight of Wands. So this higher education, higher wisdom, connecting with that is very important. So what I'm receiving here is, are you making mindful choices in your relationships that actually align with your higher purpose? and the spiritual beliefs that you have within yourself. Yeah, the spiritual beliefs, the spiritual philosophies, or just philosophies that you follow, are your choices in relationships currently in alignment with it? Especially, are they balanced? Are they in moderation or not? That is something that you have to take a good reality check on, is what I'm getting here, pile number 2. Because with the Knight of Wands, you might be hurrying. Yeah, there must be an impulsive energy, and especially an impulsivity to take care of others in some way, shape, or form, rather than taking care of yourself or solving other people's issues, rather than investing that same energy in, getting more acquainted with your own inner wisdom. Because we again have a king of swords. So by a king, I mean, we had the king of pentacles, we have it here, it showed up the second time, and then we have king of swords again. So there's a strong king energy, there's a strong energy of authority within you that has to come out. There might be a hesitation in bringing that up or showing with that energy in the world, but you are being asked to first look at your choices in relationships, because that's going to help you have a clarity or a better a better view about where is it that you are compromising, and you may have to moderate a little bit, because that will give you the confidence to step into your authority and share your wisdom. So, pile number 2, that is all that I have for you. Thank you so much for joining. I hope that this was helpful in some way, shape, or form. Do share your thoughts in the comment section below. Like, share, subscribe to the channel if the reading resonated with you. And I would like to take this opportunity to invite you to my Substack, wherein I share occasional tarot insights and also insights on self empowerment, emotional well being, and being an allowance of all that we are. If that is something that interests you, that rings true to you, you're more than welcome to join my Substack also, and the link to it is in the description box below. Thank you again, and I'll see you in the next reading. Bye bye.